A millionaire CEO didn't just cheer at the US Open. He stole a child's gift live on camera, and now he's threatening to sue the internet for noticing. A man who grabbed a boy's hat like contraband is suddenly crying victim. But behind that meltdown lies a scandal bigger than one stolen souvenir. Because when the camera cut to Polish player Kamil Majcrak signing autographs, the moment should have been pure. Majcrak, fresh off a grueling 5-set win, pulled off his hat and offered it to a young boy pressed against the railing. It was supposed to be a once-in-a-lifetime memory for the child, a gesture of generosity from a player to a fan. But before the kid's hand could even close around it, a man in an expensive suit lunged forward, snatching the cap and stuffing it into his leather bag with the casual arrogance of someone who believed rules didn't apply to him. That man was Piotr Sturk, millionaire CEO of Dragbrook, a paving company in Poland, and in just a matter of seconds, his life transformed from quiet luxury to viral infamy. The crowd gasped, the boy froze, and within hours the clip spread across TikTok, Twitter, Reddit, and Instagram like wildfire. What should have been an uplifting sports highlight was instantly transformed into a viral nightmare that named and shamed Sturk around the world. And while most people in his position might have chosen to apologize, return the hat, maybe even make a donation to soften the blow, Sturk doubled down, reports suggested. He told colleagues the internet was bullying him and hinted at legal action for defamation. Defamation over a video broadcast live in high definition showing him stealing from a child. Fans online couldn't believe it. The contradiction between what everyone had seen and what Sturk was claiming only fueled the backlash. Reddit threads labeled him the hat heist CEO. TikTok edits compared him to cartoon villains. YouTubers dissected the footage frame by frame. And while Majcrak eventually tracked down the boy and gifted him a replacement cap along with a signed racket, Sturk's name was cemented online as a grown man who stole from a child and then called his critics bullies. But the question people kept asking wasn't just what he did, it was why. Why would a man with millions on the line risk everything for a $30 hat? And why would he think silencing the internet was even possible? Because the internet doesn't forgive, and it definitely doesn't forget. What followed was a painful but necessary lesson in humility, and also a case study in how quickly reputation can unravel in the digital age. The businessman's paving company was bombarded with negative reviews. Sarcastic one-star ratings poured in with captions like, "They'll steal your driveway like they stole that hat." Employees told reporters they were embarrassed to admit where they worked, and within hours of the clip hitting Twitter, TikTok edits turned Sturk into the main character no one wanted to be. Fans looped the moment he lunged for the hat with cartoon sound effects, slowed it down frame by frame with captions like, "When your net worth is $20 million but you still want free merch." The boy's stunned expression became the face of innocence robbed, while Sturk's smug smirk was plastered into countless memes. What began as a single viral video was now a digital avalanche, and every refresh of the timeline brought a new punchline at his expense. But it didn't stop with jokes. Sports blogs picked it up, calling it one of the most disgraceful fan moments in tennis history. Reddit threads compared it to foul ball fights in baseball stadiums, except this wasn't a scramble in the stands. It was a grown executive reaching over a child. YouTubers dissected the footage, pausing at the exact second Majcrak's smile faded when he realized the boy never received his gift. Instagram parents blasted Sturk for setting the worst possible example for kids. The consensus was brutal. A man who steals from a child on live TV doesn't just cross a line, he redraws it entirely. But Sturk still didn't apologize. Instead, he insisted life was first come, first served, and in one leaked statement he reportedly said, "Yes, I took it, yes, I did it quickly, but life is first come, first served. It's just a hat. If you were faster, you would have it." That arrogance turned outrage into fury. Behind closed doors, Dragbrook's PR team begged him to issue an apology, but he refused. Insiders described tense, chaotic meetings. Some accounts even claim he shouted that the boy's parents should have been watching more closely, shifting blame in a way that stunned staff. Crisis management firms were contacted, but allegedly walked away when they saw how unwilling he was to cooperate. Meanwhile, journalists dug into his lifestyle, publishing photos of his luxury cars, designer watches, and extravagant vacations. The irony was devastating. A millionaire with every luxury imaginable was now defined by stealing a child's hat, and the more he tried to ignore it, the louder the internet got. Because at its core, this wasn't just about a souvenir. It was about ego, entitlement, and the way one bad moment can snowball into a full-blown reputation collapse. Local politicians noticed too. Dragbrook had been in talks for multi-million-dollar contracts, but suddenly council members faced questions from reporters about why taxpayer money should go to a company led by a man who had become a global punchline. One regional paper bluntly asked, if he can't resist stealing from a child, can he resist misusing public funds? The framing was devastating. It wasn't about the hat anymore. It was about trust and character. By week 2, the scandal wasn't just a meme. It was a political and business firestorm. 2 of Dragbrook's local partners quietly froze projects, citing reputational concerns. A Warsaw councilman tweeted that taxpayer money should never fund arrogance, a thinly veiled jab at Sturk. Even rival CEOs joined the chorus. One logistics executive posted a viral LinkedIn essay titled, "Leadership Means Giving, Not Taking," that never named him directly, but everyone knew who it was about. Meanwhile, parody accounts exploded. One called at @SnatcherCEO gained 50,000 followers in days, posting fake press releases. Like, Dragbrook announces hat removal services. TikTok stitched his clip into Shrek parodies and heist trailers. Sports commentators cracked jokes about it during other matches. Even his family wasn't spared. Reports suggested his wife was heckled at a gala, whispered about as the woman with the stolen hat, and a relative told a tabloid that the backlash left him isolated and furious. Parents groups tagged Dragbrook's clients, demanding to know if they wanted to be associated with a man who robbed a child. It was reputational quicksand, and every attempt to climb out only dragged him deeper. Even late-night comedians roasted him, and by that point Sturk wasn't just a CEO in crisis. He was a cultural villain, shorthand for greed so shameless it made the world stop and stare. Eventually, Dragbrook's board forced him to step back from public duties, though insiders said he resisted until the last moment. The company's image as a reliable local giant was now permanently shadowed by review sites still flooded with hat thief jokes, and for a man who had spent decades cultivating authority and status, it took just 10 seconds of arrogance at a tennis match to unravel it all. The boy who should have been forgotten in this saga became the quiet victor because Matchcrack personally ensured he not only received a replacement hat but also a signed racket, a gesture celebrated as an act of integrity. The contrast was damning. One man gave, one man took. Fans crowned the boy the real winner of the US Open, turning his smile into the symbol of innocence reclaimed. Meanwhile, Sturk retreated into silence, his legal threats abandoned once attorneys reminded him that truth isn't defamation. His name, once associated with wealth and success, is now forever tethered to a 3-word meme. Hat heist CEO, and beyond the memes lies a sharper lesson. In an era where every moment can be clipped, shared, and dissected, leaders no longer control their narratives, audiences do. Sturk's downfall wasn't just about one CEO's arrogance, it was a cultural referendum on entitlement. Parents use it as a cautionary tale, executives whisper about it as a PR horror story, and fans laugh. But also remember, if a man worth millions can't resist robbing a child of joy, what else might he take if no one's watching? And that question lingers long after the jokes fade, because if a $30 hat can take down a millionaire CEO, imagine what happens the next time arrogance collides with the internet. Subscribe now, hit like, and join us because the next scandal might be even bigger, and you won't want to miss it.